All right, so we got Casey's car. A lot of stuff we're gonna be doing to it, so sit tight and enjoy. All right, as you see, we have Casey's sleeper Civic build back in again in the shop. We got brake parts cleaner because it is a pretty dirty job. These are $1.98 a piece at Walmart. Really good brake clean. So SuperTech, if you ever want to sponsor me, I'm open to the offer. We got JB Weld Permalock, which is just as good as Loctite brand, but cheaper. And it'll be perfect for the inner and outer tie rod ends to keep them from vibrating loose, which is very important. So we got a racing radiator and some other stuff to put on the Civic, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. And this is one of the reasons we want to move to Texas. All this is salt from our roads. We have salt mines and salt museum here in Kansas, and they lay way too much salt down for a little bit of drizzle. So yeah, that's no fun. So since this is Casey's sleeper Civic build and I can't take all the credit for it even though I want to, I'm gonna have him do some work on his own car. So he'll explain the rest.
First things first, we're going to drain coolant out of the system. Let's get started.
Here. It'll still work for what we're going for, and his car won't look super fast with it in there. Now we're going to install it in the car. Alright, so this hose is not fitting on to the radiator, so we're going to use some of Bestline's No Squeak, and it'll work perfect for this situation. A lot easier. If you want to get some, link will be in the description below with the 20% off coupon code on the screen. Alright, now that you got it all connected, you'll plug it in. The key's already turned forward, and we already have the coolant sensor looped, so the fan should come right on. Now you'll want to verify that it's pulling air in and blowing air out, which it's working perfectly. So now we can put the overflow back on. Alright, so we're going to put some of this Bestline inside of the radiator, and you're probably wondering why. The powertrain lubricant stuff actually says it's really good for water pumps right here. You read the back of the instructions, it'll tell you how much to put in, but we've already done this before, so we're going to go ahead. Pro tip on this, if you want to save some money, get some SuperTech complete antifreeze, not the 50-50, because you can use half of it and then add water and you'll have 50-50. We already had these laying around brand new in the shop, that's why we're using this. Here's what the radiator looks like installed with it all painted. It's pretty stealth. It obviously looks a little bit better than the rest of the car, but give it a few days and it should get pretty dirty. And it's definitely not as noticeable as a shiny radiator. Alright, now that we got the fan install done, we're going to be installing his lower control arms, inner and outer tie rod ends, ball joints, upper and lower. It's going to be a fun process, but I'll make it enjoyable for you guys to watch. So let's get started.
That's an issue.
Alright, now that we got it out, we're going to measure our new inner and outers so we can get as close to possible measurements as what it was. So this is the method how I adjust them. I get them side by side, line them up, and I'll tighten it in to where it's about the same length. And this, alright, we measure it one more time. Everything's looking pretty good. It'll go to the alignment rack tomorrow. But before we do that, we have to take this little piece off of this one. Usually your new ones come with this little piece. Really important to put it on the new one right here. And then we'll put some thread lock on to make sure it doesn't back out. So now we've got the Permalock, which is just as good as the Loctite version. This is JB Weld's version. It's really good stuff. Just put a little bit on the threads, don't go too much, and then we will wipe it into the threads a little bit. We'll go ahead and put it back on. All right, double checked, made sure it was all tight. Now we're going to go ahead and scoot this boot back and tighten it back to the backside. All right, now that we got the boot on, it's all good on this side. The control arm down here looks in really good shape. We're just going to put some polyurethane bushings on the sway bar sometime soon. The other control arms are not the right ones for this. So these ones are in great shape though, so we don't have to really worry about that. We'll get the ball joint put in and then put it all back together. All right, now it's on. We'll go ahead and put this one back in. All right, now you guys seen the before, now here's the after.
Much better.
So next test is for Casey to go out and see how good it does. All right, so how did it do?
Handled amazing.
Definitely a tighter suspension.
Oh yeah, a lot more solid feeling. Handling is way better feeling.
It definitely looked safer when we were wiggling the wheel the first time.
Yeah, it doesn't do that now. As you'll see, or as you already seen,
yeah.
It doesn't do it.
So now we've got a big old mess of old parts and junk over there to clean up, but the car is definitely going to be safer, which is really important, especially if you're going fast. So guys, definitely do suspension stuff because it's really important.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's
got the new cooling system, so this old radiator can finally be sold for scrap. But stay tuned because we're definitely going to be installing some J2 lower control arms and polyurethane bushings eventually in the near future, and a paint job soon. So definitely stay tuned for that. He's going to go wash this thing, and I got to clean up shop. So like, subscribe, share if you haven't already, and so if you haven't subscribed, definitely subscribe. We've got a lot more on this sleeper build coming. Like, subscribe, turn the bell notification on, drop a comment, and be respectful in the comments or I'll just delete your comments. So thanks for watching and God bless.